Hey guys. Hello, hello. So if you saw my note earlier, for today's project, you might want to grab a toilet paper roll if you want to do it with us. Of course, you don't have to do it while I'm doing it. You can rewatch this later. It's going to be posted on our YouTube page at youtube.com/Smithville Parks and Rec. So you can watch it anytime you want. But if you have one now, go ahead and grab a toilet paper roll. I'm going to give you some ideas that you can do and then do one with you. And then later I'm going to link in the comments a bunch of other ones I've done, as well as some other ideas that you can try. So today what we're going to be making is a toilet paper roll monster. There's all sorts of ways that you can do this. I want it to be really simple so you don't have to buy any extra supplies or anything. So if you have the toilet paper roll, you can use construction paper or colored computer printer paper. You could use crayons, Sharpies, paint, whatever you have. A couple of them I painted beforehand. If you do that, you just need to make sure that you have plenty of time to let it dry. Otherwise, you can use crayons or markers or the construction paper. So I'm gonna wait like 30 more seconds before we get started so that a couple people can jump on here. So hang tight. If you have supplies, go ahead and grab them. Or if you just wanna watch it so you know what's going on and you can do it later, that's perfect too. And if you guys have questions or comments, you can leave them in the comments section so I can see them as we go through it. All right, a couple more people joined, so I'm gonna go ahead and just show you guys some examples before we get started. So this is kind of an idea of what it's going to look like. But yours doesn't have to look like this. I'm gonna show you so many different options that you can do to make it whatever you want. If you happen to have any googly eyes at home, there's an option. So these two, I used construction paper to wrap them with. And then if you have googly eyes, you could do a bunch of eyes. You could do 2 eyes and draw some eyebrows on it. I try to get creative with the eyebrows there. It really just depends how much art supplies you have laying around your house. You can make it as complex or as simple as you want. You can see this one, I added the hair. So lots of different options. So to get started, what you're going to do is get your toilet paper roll, decide if you want to use crayons, markers, paint, or if you have construction paper. For the simplicity of this video, I'm just going to use paper. It does not have to be perfect, so I'm just measuring it by setting it beside, seeing how tall it is. Right there looks great. So I'm gonna cut the paper. It does not have to be perfect. And because I don't have time to let it dry, I'm going to attach it with a stapler. I would recommend probably using glue for this. I used stick glue on the ones I have over there. But you'll take your paper and just wrap it around the toilet paper roll. And like I said, I think it looks a little nicer to probably glue it or maybe even tape it. But just to speed it up for you guys, I'm gonna staple it, which works fine too. It's just then you kind of have an ugly staple on one side. But you can see there, now I have my green toilet paper roll. So the next step is gonna be the eyes. So if you have googly eyes, those are great. Otherwise, I'm gonna show you a few different options to draw some eyes. So I have a little piece of white cardstock. You can use white construction paper or any white paper you have. I'm gonna take my Sharpie, and for a monster, sometimes I like to do some basic eyes. So I'm gonna try to do this here so you can see me. So I'm gonna draw just some rectangles. And if you watched last week, you know that I am not an artist. So very basic, 2 rectangles like that. And then I'm gonna draw 2 circles, 1 in each side. Yeah, so you'd have eyes looking like that. And you can position the circles inside the rectangles however you want. So maybe you want your eyes to be a little crazy eyes. You could do 1 circle in the top corner and then maybe 1 in the bottom corner, something like that. Okay. Another option, maybe for your monster, you just want to do one big eye right in the middle. So I'm just going to draw basic circle, and then I'm going to get a different color, maybe green, or I'm going to do orange actually, since my base is green. So I'm going to take my orange marker and draw another circle, and then a little circle inside of that. So it looks like this so far. Okay. And then I'm just going to fill it in, leaving that very centerpiece white. Okay, so it looks like that. And then that little white dot in the middle, I'm actually gonna fill in with my black marker. And now I have an eyeball. See the eyeball there? So I'm gonna cut my eyeball out. And again, I'm just showing you the way that I'm making this one, but it's kind of fun to make a group of monsters, to make them all different sizes of eyeballs, different expressions on their faces. You can get really creative with expressions, with the different ways to make your eyes and your mouth and even your eyebrows. So I'm gonna take my green one. I have my one eyeball. So I'm gonna glue this, and it's not gonna be perfect because it's not gonna have time to dry. You can use Elmer's glue or some stick glue. They all seem to work pretty well. So I have my eyeball. I'm actually gonna put it so it's kind of like upside down, like this. You see that? Okay. So I'm gonna hold it for a couple seconds so it at least sticks while I get the next piece done. So those are a few ways to make your eyes. Like I said, you could do a bunch of googly eyes, two googly eyes, draw your own eyes like that, or like we did this one. So I have my eye, it's kind of coming up, but I think it's gonna stick. So now I'm gonna show you a few different options that you can do for your mouth. So a really basic one that I'm gonna do for this guy is to just draw kind of like you're drawing a smiley face. So draw two lines, connect them with your U shape, and then I'm gonna draw some teeth, but like spiky teeth going up. So one there and one there. Looks very basic like this. And the reason why I draw it on my white paper is because if I mess up, then I could just draw another one instead of drawing it on my actual toilet paper roll and then not being able to fix it. So I'm gonna cut my mouth out. But if you are professional, you could just go ahead and draw it right on your toilet paper roll. It makes it simple that way too. So I'm kind of just cutting out my outline now. Let's see. So I have my two spiky teeth I drew pointed up, and then my smiley face. So I guess this is kind of a happy monster. Okay, so it looks like that. And now I'm going to take that, see what it's gonna look like. Hi, hello. People are walking in not expecting to be on Facebook Live. All right, so we have our little mouth and we are going to attach it under the eyeball, okay? And I'm getting very messy with my glue. So it helps if you have time to maybe work on a few at a time and then glue them down and work on the others, but I'm just rolling with it. So, okay, so I have the eye and the little mouth. And then next on this one, I did some hair. So I took a different color of paper and I just cut out some little spikes and I glued them in there. Another option, like I said, if you have any yarn, is to take yarn. You can kind of make little coils with it to make curls, staple or glue the yarn on top. We're gonna actually do some red spiky hair on this guy. So I'm going to take my red paper, and just like I did on the orange one with the blue, I'm gonna set it kind of over here so you can maybe see it, maybe. I'm just gonna make like some mountains, and I'm actually gonna cut a small piece out at first because that's a lot easier to work with than this giant piece of paper. So I have my rectangle, and I'm just going to do some spikes up and down. Probably gonna do like 4 of them. They could be all different sizes and heights like that. So I have my little guy, and then I'm gonna put some glue just along the bottom here. Like that. Then I'm going to fold it inside the toilet paper roll. All right. You could draw more facial features. You could draw some little eyebrows. Since I have one eyeball, I don't really know how I would make the eyebrows or eyelashes, so I'm gonna leave this guy like that. Set him there. Okay, so I have these other 2 here, and I'm just gonna quickly draw some eyes and some mouths on these. So like I showed you guys, the other options for eyeballs were these big rectangle ones. You can do all sorts of different facial expressions with those. I'm just gonna quickly draw the 2 rectangles that I showed you earlier. These are not gonna be perfect. And remember, if you have any questions, you can put it in the comments and I will get back to you. And if I'm going too fast, don't worry, this is going to be posted on our YouTube page afterwards, so you can watch it in your own time. Okay, so super simple. I drew the eyebrows, or the eyeballs. This one I am gonna do eyebrows on, and I'm just gonna do 2 little dashes, like that, on each side, okay? All right, so next, this one's really easy to do if you don't have the googly eyes or yarn or any of the extra things. We're just drawing it straight on here, very basic. So then this one, a super simple mouth. We're gonna do a little line here, smiley face, and then we are gonna give him a tooth. See that one? Very basic one. One more idea. You guys can't see that one. Okay, I got another one. One more really simple idea. If you want to do googly eyes, you could do your cluster of googly eyes or the one big eye. I'm going to do just one big eye right on here. I'm gonna switch colors and do maybe a red. So inside my circle, I'm going to draw a smaller red circle. Inside of that, an even smaller circle. And then I'm just going to fill in the medium-sized circle. Red's not really showing up on this blue. That's okay though. So it's gonna look something like that. Okay, not perfect, but you get the idea. And then a simple kind of silly mouth. We're gonna get my black marker. I'm gonna draw some fangs on this one. So I'm going to take my line like that. Oh, can you guys see me? There, okay. Take my line, just make a weird little smirking face, and then I'm gonna draw fangs along the bottom. So just 2 weird little teeth sticking out of his mouth. And you can leave them blue or color them in. The great thing about this is it's your little monster, so you can make it whatever you want. No 2 monsters are really gonna look exactly the same. But see what I did to that one? And then you could do hair on that again. This one, I'm going to do some horns, which are kind of fun. So I'm gonna go back to my white piece of paper. I'm gonna move my guys to the side so you guys can hopefully see this better. So I'm going to take my black marker, and I'm just gonna draw 2, I don't even know what kind of shapes you would call these. 2 weird little like bean shapes, like that. And then I'm going to make them a couple different colors. So I'm gonna add some orange to this one, to both of the ends. And I'm gonna do some green to the other end. And I'm kind of doing these at an angle so they look like stripes on the monster's horns. All right, right, so this is what they look like. And I'm going to cut these out. All right, so if you guys want to do extra things like this, it's really easy, like I said, to do it on your white paper. That way, if you make mistakes, it's not permanent. You can redo them and then cut them out and then attach them to your monster. So I have my 2 horns. I'm gonna make sure I get them going the right way. And then let's attach them to this guy here. So if you have tape or glue or a stapler, whatever it is you're using, just put a couple dots right like on the inside of your toilet paper roll. All right, like that. And then we're going to attach our horns facing outside. So I kind of want mine like slanting out. I'm not being very patient and waiting for the glue to dry, so it's not gonna look the best, but there you go. Okay, so I have this little guy, this one, that one, my super simple one, this one, and then over here I have the one with the googly eyes. So you can see all those eyes on there. I'm going to link all of these in the comments. I'm also going to put a bunch of different ideas if maybe monsters aren't your thing. There's a rainbow catching one. There's a bunch of nature ones that you can add elements that you can find in your backyard to it. So I'm gonna add all of those in the comments. If you have any questions, let me know. Like I said, I will be posting this to our YouTube page as well. And then next week, our project is going to be an outdoor one. So just know that we will be getting outside and searching for sticks and leaves and flowers and all sorts of fun stuff. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have an awesome day.